shouldn't be too expensive. We're staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually buried, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy assholes. On the 14th floor in a bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the party's mixed, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's pantless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on the deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 86 of Phired Up. I'm Mike Giletto. Joining me as always is Chris Lucia. Chris, what's going on, man?
Yeah, just me and you again tonight. Looks like Dom's having more issues.
Yeah, he's taking the night off. He's got house issues at this point, so that's it'll just be us. It'll just be us for the week. The week before Christmas, right? We're counting down the days. We got 6 days now till Christmas, give or take 5 or 6 days till Christmas. So that's getting exciting.
I think for Christmas, Dom should ask for internet, better internet.
Better internet, yep, that helps. But Xfinity, having Xfinity, you know, it's tough. It's a tough ask.
A mic.
True.
And I think a phone charger too. I think
a phone charger. Yes, like a portable one, because his phone's always dead. He needs a portable charger. Well, it's funny. He came over to see my new baby a week or two ago. I think it was the weekend before our last show, and he brought all of his equipment. We figured, like, somehow I got his mic to work. I have no idea how, but then his headphones started going, and like he couldn't hear out of anything. It was a mess. He's not technically savvy. He's like he's like the oldest 27-year-old I know, or however old he is. 26. How old is he?
I think he's 27.
27, yeah.
I'm 27, so I think he's right there.
Yeah, he's the oldest 27-year-old I know. But before we get into our topics tonight, I have to tell everybody about our sponsor. I think I'm supposed to sing this first part, so bear with me here. Tis the season.
Cover your ears.
Tis the season for clean balls. Fa la 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 la. How do you like that? Our friends at Manscaped are helping you clear your driveway for safe travels this holiday season. From stocking stuffers to white elephants, Manscaped's products are at the top of every wish list. Grab some crop mops for your pops, or the body buffer for your holiday lover. Win this year's white elephant gift and help all the men in your life go from eggnog to nice hog this December by going to manscaped.com and using the code FIREDUP for 20% off plus free shipping. Manscaped is a one-stop shop for your holiday needs. They have the perfect gift in the Platinum Package 4.0, plus loads of other little presents, perfect for stocking stuffers. What better holiday gift than giving the gift of good hygiene and a few laughs? Manscaped offers a handful of their liquid formulations: shampoos, body wash, upstairs and downstairs deodorants, gels, exfoliants, absolutely everything they can need to keep it clean. Don't let their chestnuts roast in the wrong boxers. Get them a pair of the Manscaped boxers specifically made to keep the area cool and provide holiday comfort all year round. Now that you've gifted them the perfect privates, go beyond the groin with Manscaped's full body product line that has nasty nose hairs. Save his life with a Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. The Shears 2.0 is the full nail care with scissors, clippers, tweezers, and a file for the traveling man. There's the new Preserve Cologne that brings a light, breezy, woodsy feel and gives that fresh tree scent even after the holidays are over. Still using a loofah? Introducing the Body Buffer. Well, loofahs actually hold bacteria from dead skin, help them throw out disgusting old loofah, and get the body scrubber that feels smoother but acts tougher. Lastly, top of the stocking, crown I'm sorry. Lastly, top off the stocking with the crown jewel for their family jewels, the Lawnmower 4.0. The electric razor's advanced skin-safe technology is a life changer and known for reducing nicks and cuts on his Santa sack. Manscaped is here to make holiday shopping a blast by giving products they'll love and making them laugh. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code FIREDUP at manscaped.com. It's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use code FIREDUP. Manscaped, for a perfect gift that will be the holidays' biggest hit. Check them out at Manscaped. All right. Now I know you heard Dom in that ad read for a little bit, so that's what we had. It's some podcast inception. All right. So obviously we talked about it before. The holiday is coming up, Christmas, and last week our top 5 list was Christmas songs. So this week we got Christmas movies. I have Dom's list. Did you want me to give his list, or did you want to rattle off yours first?
Let's go Dom first. I want to see where he was thinking.
Okay, so Dom gave me a couple of honorable mentions. I'll read those first. Dom loves the honorable mentions. Fred Claus and A Christmas Carol, the Jim Carrey version.
Mm-hmm.
I think it came out like 9 or 10 years ago, maybe. Okay, I like both of those. But his top 5, The Santa Claus. 4, The Polar Express, 3, Home Alone, 2, Christmas Vacation, and 1, no surprise with Dom, Elf. Those are his 5.
All right. Well, I'm kind of like in somewhat of the same, but a little bit different order.
It's funny. I've watched 4 of his 5 in the last week.
Really?
Yeah. In our house, we're on a Christmas movie, binge the last week or so. Like we watched The Grinch tonight.
Yeah, The Grinch is a great one.
It is.
I just don't know. Me and my wife this year, like I could be with the baby coming and all that. It didn't feel like Christmas this year, and I don't know. Yeah, maybe because my days are just like combining into each other anymore.
Yep.
But like, I didn't decorate until last week, and I'm usually like November 28th. I'm decorating, but like,
right.
It was just like one of those years this year. It just feels like it got me this year. Yep. So
Don's checking in. What's up, Don?
We haven't watched a ton of Christmas movies. Like I think we've watched one on my list, and that's it. But number 5 is have you seen Claus on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
It's a really good one. It's an animated one, and I would watch it. It's a really good story behind it. So if you ever get a chance to watch it with your kids, it's a good one.
Yeah, I'll put that on the list then. All right, I'll put that on the list for this week.
Number 4, Polar Express. Same with Dom.
Yep.
Number 3, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey version.
Okay.
Number 2, Elf, and number 1, The Santa Claus.
Okay. All right. I don't know how you feel about because you didn't have it on your list, obviously. A Christmas Story, that's everybody's top 5. Me and Dom, I don't know how you feel. Me and Dom think it's the most overrated movie ever. Yeah. How do you feel about A Christmas Story? You're out on The Christmas Story?
That, and I also don't I'm out on that, and I'm out on National Lampoon's or Christmas Vacation.
Really?
I don't find it funny.
Really?
I don't find Chevy Chase funny, I think. And what you hear about him as a person, he's a really awful person.
I believe that. I do.
So I just don't. I don't find him funny.
Okay.
I don't find any of them any of the National Lampoons funny.
The original Vacation was really, really good, I thought, and Christmas Vacation is one of my favorite. I mean, spoiler alert from my list. It's one of my favorite movies ever. So number 5, I have The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version. Number 4, I have Elf. Number 3, Bad Santa. I think that's the movie.
Yeah, that's great. No, that's great.
Number 2, Home Alone, and number 1, Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, what's crazy? I thought you or Dom might go, especially Dom, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
With the classics.
Yeah, and for me, if they're on and one of these other ones are on, I'm going to go to, one of these other ones before watching
For
Rudolph
sure.
the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
For sure, watch A Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
The
Heat Miser and
Yep.
whatever the other one's name is.
I'm drawing a blank on it now. It's been a while since I've seen those movies. Obviously have Frosty the Snowman. I mean, there's a bunch of classics out there.
I really thought Dom or you would have went Frosty or one of them.
Okay.
That's why I was you know what? I was gonna text you in the group chat and be is this what we think would be the top 5 or our top 5, because total different interpretation of that.
I just think it's your 5 favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And we have a comment, A Christmas Story. No, The Christmas Story is not a good movie. It's not. And the only argument I hear about The Christmas Story is, oh, it's played 24/7 or 24 hours on Christmas or whatever. It's like, just because it's played a lot doesn't mean it's good. You turn on the radio, the same 7 songs are in rotation. None of them are any good. I had a couple honorable mentions. 2 like really underrated movies. Scrooged with Bill Murray. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Really good movie. Love that movie. And then, have you ever seen Office Christmas Party?
No.
It's probably on Netflix. It's one of the funniest movies ever. Like, ever. It's so funny. I'm trying to think who's in it. I think it's a Seth Rogen movie.
Oh, you know what? I think I have seen that.
It's
Let
hilarious.
me look it up. Office
Christmas Party. Jason Bateman is in it. Is it Olivia Munn? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't Seth Rogen. I'm probably thinking of a different movie. So it's Jason Bateman, Olivia Munn, T.J. Miller. If you saw him, you'd probably know who he is. Jennifer Aniston's in it. Kate McKinnon. It's hilarious. I recommend seeing that. I think it's on Netflix.
I have seen that before.
Yeah, no, it's really really funny. So that's one you can't watch near any kids. It's definitely
that or Bad Santa. You had Bad Santa.
Bad Santa is so funny.
I know. Did you ever catch the second one?
I did. I liked it because like it's nostalgic, but like it wasn't anywhere near what the first one was.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to bite off of it.
For sure. First one. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, Christmas coming up in a couple of days, so I'll try to get in some Christmas movies in the next 5 days or so.
Do you have any? Do you do any of the traditions like the 7 fishes and all that?
Not really. I don't want to mess with that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I see with my job, I mean, it's so tough around the holidays because I'm just slammed for the week or 2 leading up to Christmas. So like by the time Christmas Eve's here, I just want to like crawl in my bed and not move.
Yep. Yeah, I feel the same way. I called my boss the other day, and I'm like, I have no toys in my building. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of this week. Like, there is no toys in my Target. Like, not one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like, I don't know, like, what they're going to buy. Like, start, making toys. Store?
Yeah, right?
Start making them in the back room, start putting them out.
Like Real Life Santa's Workshop.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can finally move on to the Eagles' 13-1 record. And listen, it's a tradition on this show, so I got to play it. Every win. We've been playing it a lot this year. 13 times to be exact.
Yeah, not a pretty win, but a win in the least.
Right, and we'll get to it. But it's 25-20, and you would have expected a bigger. Let me lower this. Hold on. You would have expected a bigger win over a team like the Bears. Yeah, I mean, it's really. I mean, obviously now that there's been news about Jalen Hurts today, I feel like there's bigger storylines, and you got Dallas coming up. But what are some takeaways from the game on Sunday that you had?
AJ Brown is really good.
Yep. He is. His I'm sure you've seen the graphics. His stats compared to Terrell Owens' stats are wild, and they're eerily similar.
Yep. And Devontae Smith's also really good.
Yep.
Just think, like, the other takeaways real quick. TJ Edwards also played a solid game at linebacker. He made some really clutch tackles. And that defensive line, I know that, they let 20 up on the Bears. That one touchdown to who was that at the end? Pringle. Byron Pringle.
Pringle. Dude,
that was just open. Like
a blown coverage.
Coverage.
I know it was a zone, so Slay didn't cover the man, but I would like him to be a little smart. And I'm not going to attack his intelligence, but you got to have higher IQ to know that guy's wide open.
Yeah, and then the one with Justin Fields had a long one, right?
He stepped out I think the 3. It was like a 25, 30 yard run, but that shouldn't have even happened if the play before it.
Yeah.
Fletcher Cox. Well, Fletcher Cox falls on the football. Like Justin Fields fumbles, and Fletcher Cox is the only one there. All he has to do is
Yeah.
jump on the ball.
Yep.
Eagles ball the other way, and that play doesn't even happen. And
Yeah.
then they had him in the backfield, and it looked like it was going to be a sack. I forget who missed the tackle. And the next thing you
Sweat.
know,
I think it was Sweat.
was it Sweat? And the next thing
Yeah.
you know, Fields runs for 25, 30 yards, gets the first down, steps out at the 4 or 5 yard line or whatever it was, and then they score. Was it a running play? I forget.
Montgomery.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Montgomery.
Montgomery. Yep, yeah, that's right. Yep, run up the middle for 4 or 5 yards to
Here's
score.
my question to you, Mike.
Yep.
From what you saw yesterday, did the Eagles underplay or did the Bears overplay yesterday?
I thought the Eagles underperformed. Especially, and I know Hurts had over 300 passing yards. So, but I think those stats are a little misleading. Like I think that was one of Hurts' worst games this season.
I agree, but I think the Bears overplayed.
That's probably true.
Bears defense played really well yesterday. Like at least on like man-on-man coverage, at least like AJ Brown for the most part of the game was getting like covered pretty well until he just out-muscled and out-finessed that dude. But other than that, like I think they played fairly well, that defense up front.
Yeah. It's the one issue I had with first, I don't think it was a great game from a coaching standpoint when it comes to Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I think it was bad play calling too.
Yeah, you're coming into the game. The Bears are the 27th ranked rushing defense in the league, and I think halfway, I don't know what he ended up. I think he ended up with 11 carries, Miles Sanders, but like halfway through the second quarter, he had 1. That's unacceptable. When you have Miles Sanders who's running, like a top 5 back this year, and you're playing against a team who gives up a lot of rushing yards. Feed him the ball early, and I know he had the big fumble later in the game, but like to me, part of the reason he fumbles is like he's not in a rhythm. It's hard to get into a rhythm when you're never getting the ball.
Yep. Yeah, that fumble, like if it's gonna happen, like if he's gonna have a fumble, I'd rather be against the Bears. Like
true.
That sort of game. So like
totally,
I'm sure he like went to the sideline and heard it and like straightened himself out, but I just think. You know what I heard today on the radio where I was like, okay, like maybe he did do that. Sirianni is trying to get Devontae Smith to like 1,000 yards. Because they're probably, if they beat Dallas this week, they're not going to play those last 2 games. Like they're just not.
You wouldn't play either game?
Do you risk getting hurt like Jalen Hurts? Like,
well, I feel like every year people have this debate is like, I get the argument of not risking injury, but at the same time, if you get the bye, now you're not playing the game against the Saints, you're not playing a game against the Giants, you get the bye, you're coming into that first playoff game with 3-4 weeks of rest. Like that could be a lot of rust.
That could be rust, but it could also be time to heal too.
It could be.
And you just have like rougher practices then, I think. Like you would just ramp up the intensity in a practice.
Yeah, I just have a tough time resting that long. Like I think if it's locked up, I mean maybe even play 2-3 quarters against the Saints.
Well, yeah, well, you know what? Like the Saints game actually like means something because they're winning and you want them to lose because you want that pick. So like
higher pick, right?
You kind of want to beat them.
Yep, totally.
To make sure they get a lower pick.
Right, absolutely.
It's just crazy. You know what else is nuts? That if Brandon Graham gets a sack and a half, and I think it's Sweat gets half a sack, the Eagles will have 4 defensive players, like D ends, D tackles, over 10 sacks. It's the first time in NFL history.
Really?
Yep. Graham's at 8.5. Sweat's at 9.5.
And Reddick's
at 12. Reddick's at 12. And Hargreaves at 10.
Hargreaves had that many sacks this year?
Yeah, dude.
As sneaky good.
As a D tackle too.
Yeah.
Like that's hard to do. I think Cox is like at 6. 5 or 6.
Yeah, I was about to bring up Cox because like I don't think he got on the stat sheet at all this game, but like it seemed like he was involved a lot, which is weird. Like,
Yeah,
I think the last 2 weeks he looks. I don't know that I say he looks prime Fletcher Cox because I mean, flat prime for Fletcher Cox was nuts, but he looks a little rejuvenated over the last 2-3 weeks.
They're going to have a problem in this offseason on figuring out who they're going to re-sign. It's going to be a rough one.
I do think Fletcher Cox is gone.
You do?
I do, yeah. I don't see how you can pay him because I want to keep because Reddick's a free agent, right?
No, Reddick we have for another year.
Kazir White, it's one of the bigger guys I think is a free agent.
Kazir White's a free agent. Hargrave's a
free agent.
T.J. Edwards, Bradbury.
Well, Hargrave, how old is Hargrave? He's like 32, 33.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you still have Jalen Hurts on the rookie deal. Theoretically, you could give Hargrave like a 1-year deal. I mean, that's probably where he is at the point of his career. And then maybe that takes you to, have it pay Jalen Hurts. Kazir White, I'd like to sign, even though what do you think about Kazir White this year? Like, he hasn't been, I don't think he's been fantastic. I don't think he's been bad. I think he's been slightly below or slightly above average this year. I don't think he's been any crazy.
He's been really good. Like the good thing about linebackers is if you don't have to call them in a bad way, you're fine. Like they don't have to be. Mike has been bad.
Mike has bad opinions in general. Is that comment? Somebody I work with, and we've had epic Beatles debates over the last week or two, and we've had that debate on this show many of times, and I don't need to get into it. He's mad at me. Is essentially what that comment is.
I think Kazir White. I'd be more likely to let Kazir White walk than I would Fletcher Cox.
Would you really?
I would, because you have Nakobe Dean ready to go. He's primed.
Yeah.
Not like you have somebody behind in the that isn't ready to go. Like that kid played last week when Kazir White went out. Kazir White went out with a leg and the next 4 plays, Nakobe Dean had 4 tackles on. So right. He's ready to go.
But you could also say the same thing about the line. You got Jordan Davis ready to. I know he's a different type. He's a different type of player, run as opposed to sacks. Even though Hargrave is still good against the run, but you have Jordan Davis who could take more snaps, and then you could even bolster the defensive line even more with the Saints pick. Because I know there's a couple good, especially edge rushers in the top 5 or so.
Yeah,
that they could probably pick. So,
and is Brandon Graham on a contract year too?
He might be. I'll have to look at it because I remember seeing a whole list a couple weeks ago.
I think he has a team option or something's this year. I know that they also got to make a decision on.
So all right, so I have a list of players that are current unrestricted or pending unrestricted free agents. So Fletcher Cox, Robert Quinn, see you later. That was a train wreck. What it cost him, a 4th-round pick.
Yeah,
it is what it is. They took a swing and they missed. Brandon Graham is a pending UFA. Javon Hargrave, Jason Kelsey, and that one's kind of up to Kelsey. If Kelsey wants to be here, he will. If he wants to retire, that's also obviously his choice. James Bradbury. What do you think about him? You think
I thought you were reading. Yeah, Bradbury.
I'm just going down a list of.
You're going to have to draft a secondary then with that. If you're letting Bradbury walk, you're going to have to draft a secondary and with that either that 5th pick or 6th pick wherever it's at now, or that 32nd pick if they win the Super Bowl. That one of them are going to have to be a cornerback.
Yeah, and right now he's making $7.25 million. I imagine he's going to get a pretty nice pay raise.
Yeah, they don't have anybody behind him that I'm I feel good about that. Avonte Maddox is a really good slot corner. That's just what he is. He can't play outside. He gets beat up.
Yeah, and I don't think you can move a guy like Kavon Wallace to cornerback.
No, Kavon Wallace, I think, is he a UFA this year too?
No, he is not.
The only other person is that Zach McPherson.
Yep. And
was that earlier in the season where he played more snaps? There was one game where he came in where Slay went out.
That was a couple weeks ago, I believe.
Where he actually played pretty decently, but Bradbury's just been really good this year.
Yeah, he's been really solid. Isaac Seumalo is an unrestricted free agent.
What do you?
Andre Dillard also.
Yeah, Dillard's going to go start left tackle somewhere. or
You-
guard or
yeah.
left guard. But he'll be a starter on any other team.
Kazir White and T.J. Edwards.
I think that this is another good point. Like TJ Edwards, this might be his only time he ever in his career goes up for free agency. Like, does he try and cash out somewhere, or does he come back to the team that has believed in him for 4 years?
He's only making $2.2 million, and with the way he's playing, that should be a pretty significant pay increase.
Yeah. So does he come back and give a hometown discount? Because we stuck with him and we drafted Nakobe Dean and still went. I don't know. He's gonna, but then he's got to protect himself. Who else is going to protect his paycheck?
Yeah. Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph are both. They're probably both gone, right? They just kind of got them guys as rentals, and they're 36 and 35 or however old they are.
Yeah, they want to win the Super Bowl. That's why they joined us.
Yeah, 100%. Boston Scott, I couldn't care less if he stays or goes. Zach Pascal, I'm kind of in the same boat. Miles Sanders is another big one. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, the one draft I saw, they had the Eagles taking Bijan Robinson out of Texas with that pick, with the first pick.
Yeah, they're not taking a running back.
No, you can't take a running back there. But that just shows that people around the league probably do see them moving on from Miles.
Oh, for sure. Rick Lovato, it's long time. Who cares? I think it's just by salary that they're making. That's the order this list is in, because it's kind of wild that this guy's making less than the long snapper. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is also unrestricted free agent. That guy's making $826,000 this year.
Yeah, you got to get him signed, and you can't sign them now until March. That's the next time where you can even have a contract extension talk.
Yep.
So that sucks.
And then Tyree Jackson, Garner Minshew, and Marcus Epps.
Dude, that's a lot of starters.
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot of starters. The one that really got me there is the Isaac Seumalo one, because that means they're gonna have to draft a guard if Kelsey comes, or maybe they slide Juergens over there. For the year,
right?
As I think if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, Kelsey retires.
Yeah, I can see that, and if that happens, there's a lot of questions on that offensive line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be tough. Who do you put set? I mean, I guess. Well, I guess it'd be Juergens. It wouldn't be Dickerson, I imagine, right?
No, it's Juergens.
So.
And left tackle Mailata's been amazing, but
sure.
How much is this team producing because of Kelsey's leadership and mentorship and
100%.
being able to call out the correct things and all of that?
Yeah, and that's why we've talked about it before. If and when he retires, I want him on the staff. Now I don't know. I don't think he's going to take Jeff Stoutland's job, but I want him somewhere on the sidelines. I want him on the coaching staff.
Yeah, like they did with Connor Barwin.
Yeah.
They just dude wanted to stay around the city, so they brought him back and were like, "Hey, you're our guy. You're gonna be here."
Then I think he went back to Houston.
Did he?
I believe so. I think he went back. Didn't he go back to Houston or no? He didn't.
No, he's on
somebody else.
Yeah, he retired, I think.
No, I thought he coached for Houston. Is he still coach for the Eagles?
Yeah, he's coaching for the Eagles.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I'm gonna be thinking of somebody else then.
No, yeah, I just love Kelsey. I can't say enough good things about that guy. First ballot Hall of Famer?
Who we talking about, Kelsey?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Has there been a center that has been a first ballot Hall of Famer? Probably. I know there's only a handful of centers in the Hall of Fame. There's
probably
not
Mike
many.
Webster, right?
Maybe. I'll try to look it up and see if we could figure it out. Because I mean, just everything that he's brung to this team is just crazy. Let's see if I can find.
And he's that good too. He's that good to actually say, he should be in the Hall of Fame, first ballot. He's that good.
So Hall of Famers by position I have. Let's see if I can get centers here. Let me see tight ends. Oh, it just gives me O line. It doesn't give me centers. All right, but it doesn't say if they were first ballot or not.
How many are in there?
So there are 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 centers.
Yep.
And when was the last one?
So
Like when was the? How good and how recent was the last one?
The last center. All right, so the first center, 1931 and 1945. 1932, 1952 was the last center, Clyde Turner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just, I mean, I think he's.
Wait, hold on. That's wrong. Why the hell is it split up like this? Because I have 2 different lists of centers or of offensive linemen. I can't understand why. I'm so confused. What is going on here? Because there's. I don't know. I've wasted too much time. I don't know because I'm so confused by this list.
Just say a lot.
Oh, there's
a lot. Not a lot. I mean, not a lot.
So this is an article back in 2016, so I don't know if there's been any more SIDs, but as of 2016, 6 centers in the Hall of Fame.
6 centers.
Yeah. For some reason, that other list was weird. Inducted 2015 was Mick Tinglehoff. That was the last one, 2015. Tinglehoff played in 62 to 78.
So, not. I mean, Pouncey's probably another good one, right? But he probably won't go in.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, because Kelsey's what? How many time Pro Bowl? 6.
Has it been that many?
Let me see.
I didn't think it was that many. I thought it was only a few. Let me see. 5-time Pro Bowl.
5 time. And how many time All Pro since you got it up?
4 first team and 2 second team.
Yeah, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yep.
I mean, people like Aikman are in, so like.
Yep, and Eli Manning is going to get in. Now, obviously, you're talking different positions, center opposed to quarterback, but.
Yeah, no, that's quarterback versus that's different.
I know they're totally different sports, but it's wild to me that Eli Manning's going to get in the Hall of Fame, but like Barry Bonds will never.
I know. I'm on your side on that argument. I think Bonds, Pete Rose, Clemens, they should all be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep, 100%.
So gotta hit the ball.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't. I mean, if we're going to completely switch topics, you can't rewrite. Or you can't talk, write a paragraph about or a story about the entire MLB and the history of the MLB without including those guys in it.
Yep, their names have to come up.
100%.
Have to. It's the only sport where the all-time hit leader and all-time home run leader just, 2 of the huge categories, just they're not in the Hall of Fame.
I know. Yeah, yeah, true.
That aggravates me so much that they're not in the Hall of Fame. I know that they cheated, but the NFL was also different at that time. I mean, the MLB was different at that time. They were encouraging it.
Exactly.
I don't think that they were like actively trying to like stop people from doing it. They cared about viewership.
Exactly. The MLB like basically said like this is good and this is bringing eyes to the game. So like how can you not punish them in the 80s and 90s and then punish them 20, 30, 40 years later? Like it's nuts.
And then like the MLB kind of did the same thing with juicing the balls. Like
yeah.
Right. It's the same thing. It's just whatever.
Yeah. We go back to the Eagles game. I know we brought up his name a little bit, but I thought Hassan Reddick looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
He looked fantastic.
Yeah, he has what do they call that? Bendability.
Yeah.
I guess they call it that one holding call where they, I think Fields like took off and got like 30 yards and they had to call it back because of holding on Reddick. That Reddick got dragged down and still almost had the sack on Fields. Yeah, he's a great athlete, I think. And I think especially when him and Sweat are out there, they're these tall, like, Sweat's like that tall, lanky guy. And, Reddick's that like power guy. It's really, really hard to stop them both on the edge.
Yeah, absolutely. and they're quick too, which helps. What do you think of Justin Fields? I personally think he sucks.
He does.
I'm tired of hearing about how good he is.
I can't. I just hate him because like I went to Penn State and he's an Ohio State guy. So, like, I
Right.
hate him for that reason. But I also hate him because he committed to Penn State way before he was good, and then he went down and like went from like a 3-star recruit to a 5-star recruit at like one of these big under 18 games, and then decommitted from Penn State and committed to Ohio State.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I also didn't know you were a Penn State guy. I don't love that.
I went there, so
I don't love it.
I got to
don't
cheer
love
for
it.
them.
No, I get it. I don't love it.
So
I've beef with Penn State. I don't know
why. What's your beef?
my beef is everybody that roots or has been to Penn State and don't get offended by this. They're just they act a little much. We are and acting like they created that chant and I don't know. The fan base annoys me. No offense.
No, I don't take any. I understand. It's a little much.
They remind me of the Notre Dame fan base or or the Villanova fan base.
They're not as bad as Notre
Dame. Not as bad, but I think they're in the same ballpark.
Yeah, they could be. I mean, but the Eagles fans are in that same sort of ballpark, I think, or Philadelphia in general.
Yeah, that's fair. We can't move on because obviously big news came out today. Jalen Hurts, with a separated shoulder, I believe they're calling it, or a sprained shoulder. What do they call it? Sprained shoulder.
Yeah.
His non-throwing arm, which is good from the rumors that I've heard or the reports that I've heard. I don't really. It's weird. I feel like if Saturday's game on Christmas Eve meant something, if it was a playoff game, I think Jalen Hurts plays.
I 100% agree with you.
So I don't know how serious of an injury this is, but it doesn't. First off, they haven't ruled him out, which I think is interesting, because if it was serious, they would have ruled him out.
Yep.
So I don't want to overreact to something that I don't think will affect this team long term. But what I will say is this is the second goddamn time in the last 5 years that an MVP is getting taken away due to injury.
I know.
Bullshit.
Do you think he wins MVP?
No, not anymore.
Yeah. Is it why? Is it because
I don't think he'll play. I think people will look at because you were talking about resting players. Like if they win one of the next two, or if they win against Dallas, right, and that shoulder's still not 100%, you want that shoulder to heal up.
Yep.
So he probably won't play the Saints game or the Giants game. So the fact you look at his resume, you look at he only played, I guess it'd be 14 games at that point. So if Mahomes keeps doing what he's doing and putting up the stats he's putting up in the last 3 games, I think they'll give it to Mahomes.
Yeah, and I think you kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, I think that I could understand. I still, back in 2017, even though Wentz missed 5 games, right? Was it 5? He played 12 games, right? So I guess he missed 4 games.
Yeah.
Yes, he missed 4. I still think he should have won it over Brady that year, personally. But I think Mahomes' numbers are so good that I think if Hurts doesn't play another game, I think they'll give it to Mahomes.
Yeah, that's kind of where I feel that, and two, on top of it, like the games themselves this year just feel like they're either blowing a team out where like you don't get like viewership from that. Like, you know what I mean? Like an MVP player isn't gonna be blowing teams out all the time. You want to see those close games. And I don't know, that's not the Eagles' fault. You just play who's on your schedule, but Mahomes,
and you play them well too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mahomes, you play against, you outduel Josh Allen, who's like another, MVP type guy, just to do all of this stuff. And the Eagles haven't had that this year. They didn't play anybody like that where you're like, okay, this guy could be on that same caliber as Jalen Hurts. And I guess like Dak would probably be the best quarterback you're going to see for the rest of the year. Or the year in general. I guess like this year in general, Dak's probably the best one, right?
Yeah, I mean, depends on what you think of 2022's version of Aaron Rodgers. Kirk Cousins has his moments, so you could maybe say Cousins over Dak. I think they're close.
Yeah, I think I think we talked about this last week. I still think Dallas is the team that the Eagles like would need to worry about the most in the playoffs.
Yes and no. Like, I agree because when their offense is going and their team in general is going, I think they're one of the best teams in the league. I do. They're not very consistent and they don't show up all that often. Um, I'm starting to show a little more respect to the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, the 49ers are good.
Yeah.
Their defense. Their defense
The
plays
defense is
really
nasty.
well. Yep.
Like, the only question is quarterback right now.
Uh-huh.
Is Brock Purdy, and when is Garoppolo coming back? And right, or no, is
Well,
he done for the season?
I think Garoppolo's done for the season.
Is it Trey Lance that's maybe on his way back?
I don't
Or is he done
think
for the season
so.
too?
I think Trey Lance tore his ACL.
Okay.
So I mean maybe it's Garoppolo, but I think it's Purdy from here on out.
Okay, I'm trying to look it up because
And
sorry, go ahead.
thing with NFL now, remember, like only the number one team gets the bye. So even if San Fran's
Yep.
number two, they still got to play the first week.
True.
So you run up against. I mean, you're playing the 7th seed at that point, but it's still playoffs, and anything happened in the playoffs.
So there was an article written one day ago: do 49ers bench Brock Purdy if Jimmy Garoppolo returns? So there's a chance that he could return. The 49ers could or could not have veteran quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo back at some point in the middle of the playoffs.
Middle of the playoffs. So
Yeah.
so it would look like he would probably start if the Eagles win this week or whatever week they win one game. Purdy would have to start one game in the playoffs.
Yeah, right.
So,
And I think their defense is good enough to win them a game or two.
yeah,
We see it year after year, and it could happen, but you need an offense in order to win a Super Bowl, I think.
yeah.
Especially in today's NFL. Like, I know we saw it was it last year, 2 years ago, with the Rams Patriots Super Bowl? That was
That was
it was
3 years
dreadful.
ago.
Was it 3 years ago?
12-7
Yeah,
final.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, that was Tom's last Super Bowl with New England,
right. Yeah,
and then he won it the next year with Tampa Bay, right?
Tampa, right? Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that was a brutal Super Bowl.
Oh, it was
I
brutal.
think the Super Bowl before that was the Rams and 49ers and
I don't,
who did the
I don't
40
remember.
and the Chiefs. 49ers and the Chiefs.
Was that before or was right? Yeah, I guess that would have been before.
That was when who was quarterback there? Garoppolo?
I think it was. I think it was Garoppolo.
Yeah. It was Garoppolo's first year there.
And and it was. I think the Niners were down. Were up late. I think, and the Chiefs
Yep.
came back and won.
Yep. Yeah, and that was the year they had nasty defense too.
Yeah.
So again,
That's kind of been their. That's been their like identity over the last handful of years is defense.
yeah, and Nick Bosa just
Yep.
by himself, like he's just
100%.
really good.
Yep. He certainly is. So yeah, so you probably, I imagine, Gardner Minshew against Dallas Saturday, Christmas Eve. Do you like the Eagles' chances with Gardner Minshew on Saturday?
Dude, all I know is I've been looking forward for this game all year.
Know.
Because like I think I've talked about this numerous times, but my brother's a Cowboys fan.
Yep.
So like this was gonna be like a great sit there and like watch the Cowboys Eagles on Christmas Eve and like now
Well, obviously with your family because it's Christmas Eve and everybody gets together and
yeah, but I mean just me and my brother because like it's just
yeah,
I just like to tantalize him like the whole time. But
right.
it's just gonna be like they could win with Gardner Minshew. Like I'm not saying like it's a lost hope, but like I texted him. I'm like, well, I guess that game, that's a bummer game to watch.
Yeah,
But
it sucks.
to be honest, like I think it would be cool for them to go out and like still win the game with without Hurts in there and to show like, hey,
And they could still
good.
do it.
Yeah, this team's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they definitely could. And listen, it's so wild that Dallas lost that game to Jacksonville.
I know.
It's crazy.
What was
Doug
that?
Peterson's a double agent for us, apparently.
Well, Doug Peterson, like, how many wins do they have this year? 6, Jacksonville?
Is it that, man? I think they're like right around the bubble for the AFC South because the AFC South sucks.
Yeah,
It's terrible, and that's how it's been for as long as I can remember. Like the AFC South is always terrible ever since Pete Manning left.
Yeah,
the AFC South was awful.
Well, Luck was pretty decent.
Yeah, he was. Like I can't put him up against Peyton Manning. Well, Peyton Manning was the best of all time.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I can't put him up against him. But yeah, I mean, I guess Luck had some really good years. I think he won 11, 12 games one year, right? 13 even. So yeah, Luck, but it's the rest of the division's been just awful.
Absolutely. Well, remember the one year when the Eagles won the Super Bowl that year, Jacksonville had like 11 or 12 wins that year.
That's right, because there was a Jalen Ramsey year, and their defense was nasty. And Blake Bortles, I think, got him the AFC Championship game. Yeah.
Bortles, and they were actually winning that game against New England, and New England came back late.
Yep.
The Eagles played the later game that day.
Yeah.
New England already punched their ticket earlier in the day.
Right.
I remember being like, I would rather have New England than Jacksonville in the Super Bowl. Like, God forbid.
Yeah, true. God, could you imagine losing to Jacksonville?
Yeah,
that would sting.
That's what went through my mind. Like, at least if you lose to Tom Brady, like, you made it and you lost to Tom Brady. If you lose to a guy named Blake Bortles, and who was even their receivers then? Allen Robinson had left.
Was DJ Chark? Was he there?
Yeah, it was DJ Chark, Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who was there. Was what's his name there? Fournette, or was he not there yet?
Or was it Yeldon? It's probably Fournette.
It's probably Fournette.
If they were good, it was probably Fournette.
Yeah, it's probably like his first or second year there. Like it's probably early in his career.
Yeah, but I'm so upset about this game.
Yeah, because it's the game that we've all kind of had circled on the calendar and on the schedule all year, and now it's like we can't even really see the game 100%, and because obviously Jalen's hurt, and if they do win, do you think that hurts his chances to win an MVP even more? Because they could win without him, so how valuable could he be? But
I think I just think. I don't know. I think that's a good question because if Gardner,
I don't think he'll win anyway.
What the outcome is, if they blow them out, then you're like, okay, well maybe it's the system. But if it's like a close game, it's like, and the defense really shows up in the game, like, all right. Do you take any? How would I say this? Like, are you upset with what Micah Parsons said?
No, I think I got blown out of proportion.
Yeah, I think that was I think like whoever like made a big deal about that. I think that was. I think he didn't say anything wrong there.
No, and I think he said it like on a podcast. Was that Von Miller's podcast?
Miller's podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any issues with that. I think I got blown up way out of proportion by the media, and I don't even know if that was like a national story. I think it was like a local media story.
It was.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. He's
a system quarterback, but he also said but no, Jalen Hurts is really good.
Right? Yeah, he's balling out of his mind. Yeah, for sure. I have no problem with that. A couple of them way out of proportion.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I wanted to make. I said that to somebody yesterday, and they were like, "No, you can't say it. Like he's still like." But no, he didn't talk bad about him. It's not like he said like the system's the reason they're winning. Jalen Hurts sucks.
Right. Yeah.
That would be totally different.
Right. And listen, I love good trash talk. Like even if he said Jalen Hurts suck, hey, it's fair game.
Yeah.
Just prove it on the field.
Yep. I mean, Kelsey said it when they first played, Philadelphia is a city of hard workers, and they care about their team, and Dallas is just like the Yankees, where they got big names, and
right.
Kelsey can back that up.
Oh, absolutely. All right, you ready to do something against the spread?
Yeah.
So let me pull it up here. Listen, our yearly totals aren't great. You finally, Dom's been kind of in first all year. You overthrew him as the first place.
And I'm under 500.
You're under 500. 36 and 39, you're in first. Dom is second, 33 and 42. And I am in last, 31 and 44. So I'm 2 games behind Dom. Dom's 3 games behind you.
So if you get a clean sweep this week, and the rest, and me and Dom go in 5, you're tied for first.
I guess it's a lot of stuff to happen now. All right, so I have Dom's. I'll give Dom's first. He's got the Giants and the Vikings. He has the Vikings minus 3.5. He has the Bengals and the Patriots. The Bengals minus 3.5. He has the Bills and the Bears. The Bills minus 8.5 is a pretty big line. Bucks Cardinals over 41.5. That seems high over under because like Kyler's done. I don't know. I don't know. And the Bucks can't score. It seems like a high over under. I don't know. The Seahawks and Chiefs under 49.5.
All right, I'm going to give mine next because there is a chance, Mike. Me and Dom had nothing similar.
Okay, there's not a chance because me and him have one game similar.
Okay.
So
I took Jacksonville minus 1.5 versus the Jets.
Okay.
I took Vegas plus 2.5 versus Pittsburgh.
Plus 2.5.
Yep.
All right.
The Chargers minus 3.5 versus Indy.
You said minus 3.5?
Yep.
Okay.
And then me and you were on the same wavelength. I took actually under 41.5 Tampa Bay and Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, it just seems high.
And over 39.5 Vegas and Pittsburgh.
What was that over under?
39.5.
Under 39.5? Okay.
Over.
Over. Okay, sorry.
Vegas and Pittsburgh.
Gotcha. All right, so I have the same game that I have as Dom is Giants Vikings. I have Vikings minus 3.5. Which, by the way, that was a wild game on Saturday.
Absolutely. That made me lose my playoff championship.
Did it really?
Yeah, because I was playing against Kirk Cousins, and he had going into the halftime negative 0.5 points, and I'm like, I'm gonna blow this guy out of the water.
Probably ended up with 35 plus.
He also had the kicker for Minnesota too, Carlson or whoever it is.
Yeah.
And Greg Joseph, and he also got him like so. My brother's league is the one quarterbacks get you heavy points.
Okay.
So Kirk Cousins finished with 61.5 points. And I was like, the dude literally had negative 0.5 of a point going into halftime. Like, you're kidding me here.
That's nuts.
So
Jeff Saturday should have been fired like after the game immediately. You're never allowed to coach another snap of football in your entire life. Like, that's unacceptable to be up 33 points at half and lose.
And Matt Ryan has to again hang his head on being up that big and losing a game.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to really crucify somebody when you put up 33 points in one half because it's a lot.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything.
I know he didn't do anything, but like, how you just can't let a team come back that much in one half. Like, there's a lot of shit that has to go wrong in order to blow a lead that big. A lot of shit, and it all happened. It's nuts.
One of it was named Saturday.
Right. I have the Lions and the Panthers. Lions minus 2.5. I have the now listen, we talked about the Eagles-Cowboys game. It's Garner Minshew. I like it. I like his chances. And even if they don't win, I think it'll be closer than the 6 points they're giving the Eagles. So I take the Eagles plus 6. I have the Broncos and the Rams. Every week there's like a line that like throws me off with how low it is. This line was 35.5. Even if it doesn't have, like, it's so low, I'm tempted. I have to take it over 35.5. Broncos, Rams, and then the Packers, Dolphins, over 46.5. Even though it looks like Aaron Rodgers is done and washed, the Dolphins can put up some points. So over 46.5.
Absolutely. The Rams right now, it's 10-6 and 10 minutes into the third quarter.
10-6 who?
Rams? Green Bay.
Green Bay, okay.
Yeah, it's such a shame what happened to the Rams this year. I mean, do they deserve it? Absolutely, because LA, another big city, but right. For them to just like completely be off.
Yeah, like what's the reason? Like, is Stafford just washed? Well, he's not even playing anymore, is he? Or is he hurt?
He's hurt. Yeah,
he got hurt a few weeks ago. Who's their quarterback? Oh, it's Baker now. Duh.
Baker, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with the Rams.
So Matt Stafford had a shoulder issue going into the season. Like I don't know if you remember. Like,
did he? I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
And like
Okay.
he just was going to play through it, and then their receivers suck. When Allen Robinson's your number one, like
Well, yeah, they lost Beckham.
yeah, and
Well, Allen Robinson's another one. Cooper Cup's still there.
Cooper Cup, like he got hurt.
Okay,
Yeah. So I don't even know if he's playing tonight, Allen Robinson, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and then OBJ left, and
Van Jefferson just came back.
Yeah,
So like,
and they really haven't had a running back in how many years? Like that
Yeah.
they can find. Like
Yeah,
ever since
Gurley
like
was the
I was
last
saying
one.
Gurley, Todd Gurley had a couple good years there, and ever since then they've been looking for like a steady, like reliable, consistent running back, and they haven't found it.
their O line is awful.
Yeah, well, they
So
did Whitworth retire right last year.
retired,
and
yeah.
he's obviously an All-Pro, probably a
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You lose him on the line, that hurts.
And then their defense, they lost Von Miller.
Was he that big for them though last year?
I think I don't know.
Maybe down the stretch, yeah, but
like as a motor player, like to just get the energy going, sort of thing. And Dominican Sue, no, he wasn't on them. He was on Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Jalen Ramsey's probably not the same player he was a couple years ago, and
Yeah.
so. All right. I just had one final topic. I know you're not really a big Flyers guy or big hockey guy, but I just had a little tiny rant to go on.
Yeah.
How often, like, how much do you pay attention to the Flyers?
I pay attention to. I get the score update every night.
Okay.
And then I also look at like anything that comes like news through them.
Did you hear the news today?
Yes.
About Cam Atkinson.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is now so you go back to last year. Ryan Ellis plays 4 or 5 games with the Flyers, misses the entirety of that season. This season comes, he's still not practicing, and he's still not on the ice. And it turns out he's going to miss the entire 2022-2023 season. In training camp, Sean Couturier, news of him possibly missing the whole year with a back issue or a neck issue. I think it was a back issue. And his year's in jeopardy. And Chuck Fletcher said today that he might be back by March. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. And the news comes out then kind of in training camp and throughout the first couple weeks of the season, Cam Atkinson's hurt and there's no news. And the news comes out today about Cam Atkinson
Done for the
getting surgery on his neck. He's done for the season. What is going on with the Philadelphia Flyers training staff? This is 3 guys that are supposed to be like critical to their lineup, legitimate starters, like top of the roster guys that aren't going to play a single game this season. Not a single game. There's some serious issues when it comes to this training staff, I think, and I think the franchise as a whole. There's so many things that need to change from up top, ownership to the front office. I think it goes all the way through to the scouting and the medical staff and the training staff is included because it's absolutely bananas, the injuries and the lengthy injuries that have happened with this team. It's nuts. And that's kind of the only rant I wanted to go on because the games don't really mean anything for the Flyers, so they're going to suck. They're going to get a high draft pick, hopefully. And the games don't matter, but that storyline, something's got to change with the training staff because this is brutal.
Yeah, it's reminded me of like the Sixers.
Yeah.
Like, same sort of thing. I don't know what's going on with the training staff. I also saw today something like Kevin Hayes and John Tortorella aren't getting along.
Yeah, Kevin Hayes was healthy scratched. When was that? Was that Saturday or so? It was one game this weekend. And apparently, Kevin Hayes, he's a leading point getter, so like he's playing well offensively, but defensively he's kind of looks a little lazy and doesn't seem fully committed to playing like a full like complete game. And he's one of the leaders on the team, and John Tortorella is a guy that he preaches accountability.
Yep,
so
I respect that.
Yep. So he said, listen, even though you're the leading point getter and you're a leader on the team, I'm going to make an example out of you. You're going to sit. And Kevin Hayes didn't agree with it. I'll just say that. But hopefully he learned something from it because Travis Konechny has kind of had a resurgence under John Tortorella, and because he knows he preaches accountability and knows that he's going to be in the press box if he doesn't play to a certain standard, and hopefully Kevin Hayes learned something from this.
Yeah,
because he signed for a while too.
Hayes
sorry?
is older. He's an older player, right?
He's 32 or 33, something like that, probably,
Yeah,
give or take 30.
I like that when a coach has the gusto to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of been his thing since the early 2000s, like since he's been a coach, in his Tampa Bay days. He's always kind of preached accountability and being kind of a hard ass and tough to play against, and that kind of thing. But I'm just so tired of the medical staff. That's really the only rant I wanted to go to. But yeah, again, the games mean nothing. I need a high draft pick because the top of this draft is stacked. And yeah, that's all I got.
I have nothing on the Flyers. Sixers won.
Did they? Well, I think it went to overtime, didn't it?
Yeah, overtime. They won 104-101.
It's a low scoring overtime game.
Yeah, Embiid had 28 points and 11 rebounds.
Okay. I wasn't even planning on really talking much Sixers because it's until Glenn Rivers gets fired, I couldn't care less about this team. What do you do? You think this stuff's getting blown out of proportion with the whole Embiid saying Philly fans want me to get traded and things like that?
I think that Embiid did that as a sort of joking matter. I don't think he was serious, but I don't want him traded, but I also want them to win a championship. And I don't know if they're going to do that with Embiid, to be honest. I'm not trying to be hot takey.
Yeah.
I don't know if that type of basketball is going to win in today's NBA that he plays. So I don't know.
Well, I think it can. There's really two issues I have with Embiid. One is this stuff about this whole thing is kind of magnifies it. It's the fact that he kind of acts like a child a lot of times. I think he's got a ton of maturing to do still. And another thing is come playoff time, his body's just gonna be broken down and I don't know if his body can make a significantly deep playoff run.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, you know what, Mike? I wanted to ask you. NHL is considering expanding their season. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did. So they want to do something similar to the NFL. So the NFL had 4 preseason games. They moved it down to 3, added that extra game to the regular season. They want to do something similar where, because right now they play, I think, 6 preseason games. I think it's 6 preseason games. They want to maybe move it down to 3 or 4 and add 2 games to the regular season. Because now that in the last handful of years they've added Vegas and Seattle into the league, so they want those 2 extra games to play your rival more, basically have more division matchups in with those extra 2 games. Because right now you only play your division 3, maybe 4 times in a season, so they want to add another game or 2 against a division opponent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like that? You think?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, anytime. Preseason's now virtually meaningless. It just is. I think it's a little more meaningful in hockey because the rosters are so big that the first 3-4 games of the preseason, the veterans don't even play because the coaches are trying to get their roster locked in. There's
right.
a bunch of camp battles and things like that. But by the time your 4th, 5th game rolls around, it's pointless. So yeah, if you can make those regular season actually mean something, I'm on board. I guess we can kind of continue with the NHL though. Is the apparently there's been some talks around the board of governors in the NHL about having a plan to a play-in matchup, kind of similar to the NBA, but apparently the commissioner wants nothing to do with it, so they they probably won't even do it.
Why?
I don't know. He just has no interest in it. I don't even think he said. So I feel like people like the NBA's playing.
Yeah, those play-in games. I think people want to watch those games because for some reason people like watching other people lose. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, anytime a LeBron team's on, you're rooting for him to lose, right?
No, I love LeBron.
Oh, that's right. You do love LeBron.
I love LeBron. I'm a LeBron.
Get out of here.
I know.
So who are you rooting for to lose then?
I don't know. Just in general, I I don't know. I have a pessimistic attitude sometimes. Like, do you know the show, The Drop that used to be on or whatever?
No,
It was LeBron's show where they would drop the balls down and they would get money if they answered questions correct.
no, I have no clue what that is.
It was like a big Plinko board, right?
Okay.
And I would always cheer like if they got green balls, they got to drop those down, and it was money gained, and then the red balls is the money lost. Like I always would cheer for like the green balls to go into like the dollar, and then like for the red balls to go to like the $10,000 spots. I don't know why. I just like watching people lose sometimes.
No, I listen. I respect it. That's funny. Okay, so when you turn on a play-in game, you're just rooting for both teams to lose.
No, I would probably cheer for
the underdog, probably.
Yeah,
more often than not.
Yeah.
I imagine. Yeah,
just because I would like to watch that. Like, if the baseball did it, I would cheer for the Mets to lose. Not even just because of
sure.
rival, just because like
they're a New York sports
team to watch the Mets lose.
Well, they kind of do it to themselves. They're really good at losing. They're really good.
They sure are.
And speaking of the Mets, like, is there anything baseball that has really happened? Rodon went to the Yankees. That's about all I really care about.
Swanson went to the Cubs.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what the Cubs' plans are. Are they trying to compete? Are they trying to be bad? Like, I have no idea.
I feel like Chicago always has, even if they're out of it, like I still feel like they have good players. Do you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Swanson. I think Swanson's a good player, so I hope for his career that they're trying to. They also signed Bellinger too, I think.
The Cubs.
Yeah. I think they signed Cody Bellinger to a 1-year deal. So Bellinger, Swanson. I mean, that's something. I don't know what you're trying to build up there, but it's something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who their pitchers are.
I don't understand that they go and they sign these guys, but they had like Chris Bryant and they had.
I know.
Like, why didn't you just try and build around them? But you go out there and you sign, Swanson probably to like I forget what the deal was, but it's probably like a $20 million a year deal. I would assume you could sign.
It's similar. Speaking of Chris Bryant, it's similar with the Rockies.
I know.
Like you had Arenado, one of the best third basemen in the league, and then you let him go or trade him, whatever they did with him. Did they let him walk or was it a trade?
I think they let him.
I forget. I don't remember what it was.
But Dom's really good.
But then the next season they sign Chris Bryant. It's like I'm confused where you guys are at here, because you could have just had you had the guy. It's. But I'm looking at the Cubs roster. Yan Gomes, or their projected roster, or their projected lineup. Yan Gomes, Alfonso Rivas, first baseman. Second base, Nico Horner. Third baseman, Patrick Wisdom. Shortstop, Dansby Swanson. Left field, Ian Happ, who's a nice little player.
Yeah.
Center field, Cody Bellinger. Right fielder, Seiya Suzuki. And DH, Nick Madrigal.
Yeah, they're not competing for anything.
No, and I don't even have their rotation, so I don't even know what their pitching is like.
Yeah, they're not competing.
No, it's so. Who knows?
I think that Cubs are like one of those fan bases where they will spend money because they know that like the fans will come and watch them.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
So I think that's why like they'll always like make a signing like that, just to make sure that you can sell the park out.
Yeah. So the rotation. So for some reason on here they have like 7 guys listed in the rotation. So I'll just read like the top 5. Marcus Stroman, Kyle Hendricks, Justin Steele, Keegan Thompson. Not to be confused with Keenan Thompson. Adrian Sampson. Like it's.
Yeah,
they're not gonna win.
Yeah.
When Marcus Stroman's your number 1.
I know. Marcus Stroman, maybe like 5 years ago, Marcus Stroman, your number 1.
Now he's like a 4.
I know. You know who, like, it's really crazy that these players that like were good at one point all came from like the same team. Like the Rays do such a great job.
Yeah.
Sherman came from the Rays,
Did he
right?
come from the Rays?
Or was he
He
Toronto?
was in Toronto for a while.
Was he? Maybe I'm thinking Archer, Chris Archer.
Okay, he came from the
I'm thinking
Rays.
Chris Archer. Yeah.
Well, you talk about all the good players come from one team. Like if you look at like the 2015 Miami Marlins,
I know.
like that team, you look back and they're all stars. Like,
Yep.
but yet they stunk there.
I
It's
know.
weird. Like you had who was
Yelich.
it? Yelich.
Stanton.
Yep, Stanton. JT.
Ozuna.
I'm trying to think of who else was there, but they had a ton of good players.
Yeah, those Florida teams, they draft well. I mean,
Yeah.
the Rays always had like Evan Longoria, who was a beast, James Shields, Scott Kazmir, Carl Crawford, like all of these guys were like BJ Upton. Like I just remember the '08 team and like being like, man, they developed players well. And what was that? 3 years ago, right? Where they went to the World Series again?
Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe something like that, yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah, they develop well, and I think Montreal used to develop well back in the day too. Like I think like Cliff Lee came from them, Pedro Martinez came from them.
I know Cliff Lee came from Montreal?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Vlad Guerrero came from
Yeah.
Montreal.
He was unreal, but yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I can't wait for baseball. I'll be honest.
I know. It feels like it. Even though it just like ended. When's pitcher catchers? First week of
It's
February.
usually it's usually February, first or second week of February.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah. Do you think the Phillies are done making moves?
well, I mean, who else is really out there for them to get?
They have to address the bullpen, right?
Yeah, well, they signed Strom.
That was it, right.
Yeah, in the bullpen, that was it. I would love Andrew Chafin. I don't know how much more money they're gonna spend.
How much do you think that dude from San Diego is?
What dude from San Diego?
Wasn't he who was the dude that would pitch like their 7th and 8th inning? Perez?
Hold on.
Nah, I'm definitely off.
I'm looking. 1 second. Try to take a look at the unrestricted free agents. Let's go to our live podcasting here. Relief pitchers. Update. All right. So you have... Wait, what's going on? Why is Edwin Diaz on this list? He's signed. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on 1 second. I think I got it. All right. So... Raziel Iglesias?
No.
Andrew Chafin, I like. I don't see who are you talking about? You talking about Joe Kelly? Nah, not Joe Kelly, right?
No.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Maybe was he on the Houston? The guy that I'm thinking of? I don't know. I thought that there was a dude that we played in the playoffs was a free agent.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking now and I can't. I'm not seeing
sure.
the name either.
No. So.
Oh, Robert Suarez.
Oh, okay.
He signed back with San Diego.
He did. Yeah. That was early too.
Ago.
He's the one that I think Harper hit the Bellingham at the bank home run off.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah. Yep. That's why I didn't remember him signing, but there's still a ton of players out there. Segura still don't have a home.
Yeah. I think it'll happen soon. I mean, I feel like this year. I mean, you go back to the year of the Machado Harper thing. That went into like March.
I know.
So this year it's kind of happened earlier than that did. I don't know if I could have taken a whole.
Waiting on Turner.
What was that?
Waiting on Turner.
Yeah, like I don't. Yeah, it would have been tough to wait till March for them to sign Trey Turner. Like I'm happy it happened early.
Yeah, do you think they add another pitcher?
I would like him to. I want starter or reliever?
Starter.
Starter. I think they're done. I think they.
You think they're done? You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Walker.
Yeah, so I guess the rotation will be Wheeler, Nola, Suarez, Walker. I
Painter
guess Painter,
or
or
Barry
or
Falter,
falter until Painter's ready. I guess.
or let Painter, sit the first 6 weeks in the minors and then get brought up,
Right.
so you get an extra year out of him.
Yeah. Exactly. Um. So yeah, I think they're probably done there. Um. Yeah. But I think they need another lefty in the pen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
which
he
is
like,
why I like
yeah,
Chafin.
yeah,
But I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna cost. I mean, he's really this like the best left-handed reliever out there.
yeah. I
So I don't know.
guess
I don't know what these guys go for.
who signed the biggest one? As a Robertson, probably. Did he sign a
Yeah,
big deal?
yeah. What was his contract? I don't know. I know Syndergaard got paid.
I know. And to go out there, where do you go to the Dodgers? Right?
Dodgers. Yeah. Yep.
Come on, man. Got to be better than that.
Yeah. Now listen, someone's giving him that money. I wouldn't have given it to him if I'm the Phillies.
Kimbrel's still out there.
Is he?
He is.
Okay.
Chafin, Taylor Rogers. Let's see.
Taylor Rogers is a nice name too. I wouldn't hate it. I think Chafin's better, but
Michael Fulmer. Yeah, I don't know. It's not tell. It's just tell me where they signed, not the biggest contract. What do you give like a top?
yeah, I don't know. What are the top
15, 12 million?
Right? Yeah.
1
Something
year
like that.
12, 1 year 15. I don't know. Baseball is so crazy with how much they make. It's
You
all guaranteed.
Well, baseball, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I have a list of relief pitcher salary. The highest salary is currently Edwin Diaz, the one he just signed, $19.6 million per year. Iglesias is $16 million. Jansen's $16 million. Liam Hendricks $14 million. Like he's probably not any of these guys. Robertson's making $10 million.
Okay.
Suarez and Pomeranz is $10 million. So yeah, he's probably around $10, $11 million.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy
Yep.
for a reliever. But I mean, they win you games.
For sure.
Look at the Astros. Like once you could get past the sixth inning,
Yeah, no, their
Those
bullpen
guys
was really
were-
good.
yeah, those
I mean,
guys
their
were
starters were really good too. But yeah, their whole pitching staff. Houston always has good pitching staffs. I'll never understand it.
Yeah, and they let the Cy Young just walk away.
Yeah. Yep.
They know they'll be fine. Like, who's their number one this year?
Who is their number one?
Javier?
Yeah, I was gonna say either Javier. Yeah, probably Javier. I mean, I don't think it's McCullers. McCullers isn't. a
No,
number one.
McCullers like a 3.
Yeah, and then who's the Fromber's probably number
Fromber.
2.
Yeah, that was.
But after that, like who's there? I'm sure there's guys I'm missing. But they could just like when they traded for Verlander, everybody thought Verlander was washed, and then he
Yep.
was like a Cy Young or two in Houston.
Yep.
They got they resurrected Charlie Morton's career and turned him into an ace or close
Yep.
to it. For some reason, like their pitching staffs are always like really good and better than expected. Like they just know how to build pitchers. It's weird.
Yeah. And they any team that's able to let an all-star like Correa walk away and just replace him with somebody who's that kid Pena, right?
Yep. Jeremy Pena.
He's just as
Springer
good.
too. They let walk.
Yeah, Springer. Brantley got hurt, right? That's why he's still on the team, right?
Brantley is I believe. Yep. Yeah, Chaz McCormick fella.
Yeah, he's good. Like he's a decent player.
Yeah, he's a nice little player. Yeah.
And then they go and get Jose Abreu to play first, even though Gurriel had a great.
They signed Abreu?
Yeah, they signed Jose
I missed
Abreu.
that.
Yeah,
Huh.
even though
Well, still signing for him.
Gurriel had like a nice playoff. I don't know why.
Yeah, he was nice. He was
39,
never,
right? So I guess.
Yeah. I didn't realize they signed Abreu.
Yeah,
Huh. That's a good signing for them. I
that's
like
a
that.
great signing for them. Who's their DH?
I guess it's not Jordan, is it? He might do it. They might like flip flop.
Well, I guess that's where Gurriel will go now, right?
Is
Is he
Gurriel still under
free?
contract? I'm not
Maybe.
sure.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Jose signed a 3-year deal with Houston. No, he's a free agent. Gurriel. Yeah.
trying to look. Who would be there? It said Jordan is currently listed as their DH.
DH.
Yeah. Because in right field they have Kyle Tucker.
Tucker, great player.
Yeah, phenomenal player. One of the only guys that goes no batting glove. It looks weird every
I
time.
know.
I don't know how it doesn't like hurt the fuck out of your hands. Your hands are all blistered. I don't know.
Yep.
It's weird. All right, you got anything else to get on your mind before we get out of here?
No, man, I'm good.
All right.
Have a
Sounds
Merry Christmas.
good. Yes, you as well. Everybody listening, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas. I know this year worked out weird. Like I know sometimes we usually take the week off around Christmas and we pick up after the New Year, but I think we'll have a show next week. I don't think there's any sort of thing stopping us.
No.
Hopefully the Eagles clinched in the one seed. And we could talk about that next Monday.
That would be great.
Absolutely. So we're gonna get out of here and we will see everybody next Monday. See ya.